One of the most common questions asked when dealing with narcissistic individuals, when spending months, years, decades with a narcissistic individual, years of emotional turmoil, is can the narcissistic individual change? More often than not, you've seen their apparent good side. You've heard their promises. You've held on to hope that if you just love them enough, support them enough, say and do the right things for them, they'll finally become the person that they pretended to be. And that's what they did. They sell you an illusion of who they potentially can be, so you hold on to that potential rather than recognizing who they are. The toxic monster you saw in the end is who they are. Never doubt yourself when they play nice again. Narcissists don't change because they lack the self-awareness. Change starts with understanding our own behaviour, then making a decision to change it. And then it's the discipline. And then it's the consistency, the showing up with that changed behaviour day after day. Narcissistic individuals lack this insight. They don't see how their actions hurt others because they're too focused on themselves. They're entitled to get their needs met. And those who do recognise, they lack the empathy to care. It's your fault, not theirs. Because they refuse to take responsibility. Narcissists rarely admit any fault. They always find a scapegoat to pin the blame on for the circumstances that they created, keeping themselves free from accountability. It's always, if you hadn't, then I wouldn't. They made me do it. They did this, they did that. It's never the narcissist's fault. Therefore, the narcissist sees no reason as to why they should change. They believe that all those around them are the ones who need to change. And there's no genuine remorse. Even if you're unlucky enough to have a narcissist apologise to you, it's a false apology. It's insincere. It's I'm sorry if, I'm sorry but, I'm sorry you, as they find an excuse, a justification, a way to blame rather than take responsibility. It's a tactic to keep you close. It's not a real expression of remorse. They lack the empathy. It's not a real expression of taking responsibility. They lack the self-awareness. It's not a regret or a decision to improve. The only regret they have is if they're painted in a negative light and it's negatively impact their image or they're not getting their needs met. So they offer that false apology to avoid consequences. Narcissists distort reality and gaslight. When confronted, they go all out to twist facts, to lash out, to guilt trip you into silence. They look to get you to question your own perceptions rather than their behaviour. You catch a narcissist cheating, they're never going to trust you again. You call them out on something and they get offended and wow, I can't believe you think that of me. You try and speak to them or create a boundary and they fall silent on you. They refuse to speak to you because they need that control and that admiration. The narcissist's primary goal is not about development or growth as a person. It's about them maintaining power, control and gaining the admiration that they believe that they're entitled to from those around them. They manipulate your willingness to help. They exploit your willingness to help. They manipulate therapy. If they do seek help, it's to manipulate the process. It's to claim that they only did those things because of their abandonment trauma. They only did those things because of their attachment styles. But they don't go and work on that trauma. They don't go and work on those styles. What they do is they use them as an excuse to continue hurting and manipulating you. They use therapy or your offer of help or concern to gain sympathy, to improve their image, but not to actually change their toxic behaviour. They have an unwillingness to lose the upper hand. Real change requires humility, vulnerability. The narcissist's ego will not stand for that. It will not allow that. Narcissists fiercely resist this because it means giving up their sense of superiority. You can bend over backwards for a narcissist. You can forgive them thousands of times. You can sacrifice your own desires, wants, needs for them. But it will still never be enough for a narcissistic individual. They make you feel like you're not enough. Narcissists don't change because they don't believe that they're the problem. They think that everybody else is. So can a narcissistic individual actually change? Theoretically, yes, they can. If they wanted to, for themselves. Realistically, they don't. At least not without intense, ongoing work, a level of self-honesty that most narcissists simply don't have. You don't fail a narcissist. You didn't give up too soon. You didn't care about them the wrong way. You didn't love them the wrong way. That's who they are as a person. And at some point you finally accept the truth, and that truth sets you free. You cannot change a narcissist, but you can change your future by letting go. Letting them go and live their life while you go and live yours. If anyone has any thoughts on this video, please do add those into the comments with people reading through. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers and your continued support with the channel. It's greatly appreciated. If you are new to the channel, I'm Elizabeth Shaw. This channel is all about narcissistic behaviour to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with within your life, how to handle yourself around those people if you cannot go no contact, and different methods to find what works for you to help you understand and overcome narcissistic and emotional abuse. If you do find the information helpful on the channel, please do subscribe. If you are looking for further help and support in understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, I do have several online guides available, and those teachable links are in the video description. If you're looking for someone to speak to, I have partnered with BetterHelp, and their sponsored link is also in the video description. I do also have several books out on Amazon, how to create boundaries around those who have no respect for your boundaries, such as narcissistic individuals, Healing from Narcissistic Abuse, a guided journal for empowerment and recovery, which is a prompted guided journal. 15 rules to deal with narcissistic people, how to stay sane and break the chain. A Narcissist Handbook, the ultimate guide to understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse. And the novel, which should be the first in a 3-part series, Behind the Mask, The Rise of a Narcissist. If anyone is interested in any of those, they are in the video description. The links for them are in the video description. Go out there and create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Bye.